So it's April 4th, and the whole Rachel Gilmore CTV hullabaloo continues to rage on both social media and in the independent media. I'm not sure what the mainstream media, if anything, has to say about it. I don't know. But I went digging a little bit because something struck me in that conversation that Rachel Gilmore had recorded with whoever the individual was she was speaking at CTV with. The conversation that Gilmore recorded. Now, the CTV entity, whoever that woman was, mentioned on more than one occasion it was about bandwidth. And Gilmore spun it as it was all about negative things said to and about her on social media. Rachel spun it very well that it was a personal attack on her and therefore on democracy as a whole. And again, I don't have the ability to splice in, or I'd splice some of that phone conversation. The CTV individual, entity, whatever, mentioned bandwidth on more than one occasion again. So I asked AI, I said, what does bandwidth refer to in regards to journalism? And the answer is, it refers to the capacity or resources to cover news stories, including time, personnel, and budget. It's about managing workload, not censorship. So, we see Rachel spun it to her own benefit. Well, fair enough. She's got, I don't know how large her following is on the various social media platforms. She has monetary motivation, no doubt. So she spun it the way she did. The independent news media sort of laughs at it. They don't consider Rachel to be any longer a journalist. She's a social media influencer or blogger, commentator, whatever terminology you want to use. But another social media commentator I follow on TikTok, and I won't name her because some people are getting really hot and bothered about the whole Rachel Gilmore thing. More about that in the summation here. Pointed out, well, CTV had hired a far right wing fact checker, because nobody can argue that Rachel's far left, as far left as you go, far WEF, I say. She is active status WEF member and a Young Global Leaders Program graduate class of 2020. I had some people argue with that in the comments. They said, oh, I Google searched it, I can't find her. And CBC did a story on her in 2020 when she entered the program, just as one fact check. Anyways, I don't know who's far right in Canada other than Jeremy McGrath. Can you imagine how the left would be freaking out if they put a far right fact checker on CTV News? Yeah. And back to not naming any other names on TikTok, I had a gal, female, I'll use that word because it seems to really upset her, that word, despite the fact that she's a female and I don't see her using any pronouns. But anyways, she harshed right out on me about Gilmore. Suggestive that I, a knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing hick with a spiral notebook, filming videos in his car, well, she didn't out and out accuse me of phoning the CTV and complaining. I didn't. And I wouldn't. I was watching Gilmore. Well, I watch her to see what the Bit Nudge unit is all on about, because she's blatantly and openly and undeniably aligned with the Bit Nudge unit, headed by Sasha Trejabov, WEF member in the Privy Council in Ottawa. And I thought the one clip she did do with the CTV, I thought, whoa, she managed to remain about 60-40 neutral on that. She managed to dampen the inherent left mindset that she has. But anyways, the saga continues, and I imagine that Rachel picked up quite a number of followers. She seems to have a lot of support, and a lot of them don't seem to understand what bandwidth means.